Making headlines. The President emphasizes the importance of valuing and honoring the hard work of fishermen. The President assures that the administration would effectively address the dollar shortage issue facing the Maldives. And the Homeland Security Minister says that the ministry is now operating as a results-driven institution dedicated to ensuring the safety and protection of citizens.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Daham Naik. President Dr. Mohammad Moise said it is the national duty of every citizen to recognize and honor the dedication and hard work of fishermen celebrated annually on 10th December. President Dr. Moise extended his felicitations to all fishermen and their families, acknowledging their relentless efforts. He described the work of fishermen as a testament to dedication and hard work performed in various weather conditions and at all hours on the high seas. As the nation observes Fishermen's Day, the administration of President Dr. Moise is diligent in its efforts to address the concerns of local fishermen and foster the development of the fisheries sector. Among the administration's notable achievements are efforts to eliminate the backlog of outstanding payments owed to fishermen. In line with President Dr. Moise's electoral pledge measures to ensure as a fundamental necessity, the administration has also commenced the development of fuel storage facilities, and the government has begun providing fuel to fishermen at the same rates offered by the State Trading Organization STO in Male. The President has also pledged to end governmental control of the fisheries sector, granting fishermen total control of the industry. President Dr. Mohammad Moise assures that the administration would address the dollar shortage issue facing the Maldives.
President Dr. Moise assures that the administration would work on effectively addressing the dollar shortage issues facing the Maldives. Meeting with the residents of Hura, Kaf Atoll, as part of his two-day tour to select islands in Kaf and Alif Alif atolls, the President said the dollar shortage faced by the Maldives is a serious economic issue inherited from the previous administrations. He described the decision to propose the exchange of the dollars that enter the Maldives as revenue with a local bank as a people-centered approach. The President noted that the Central Bank, Maldives Monetary Authority (MMA), had formulated the relevant regulations in the form of a bill and presented it to the Parliament. The bill has not altered the Parliament's previously announced requirements for the bill. He expressed hope that the bill could be passed before the current Parliament session concludes, noting that the bill's passage would bring wealth and prosperity to the people. The bill, which was presented to the Parliament on Monday, aims to define which transactions can be carried out using foreign currency and establish policies for the inward and outward remittances, deposits and exchange of foreign currency, as well as formulate additional regulations on foreign currency within a legal framework.
President Dr. Mohammad Moise states that the implementation of key pledges related to housing, healthcare, and education will commence next year. He shared the update while addressing the residents of Hura Kaf Atoll. In his remarks, President disclosed that the government had already established the prioritization framework for next year's development projects. He added that while housing projects will take precedence, followed by healthcare and education sector initiatives, all projects are set to be launched next year, reiterating that next year's focus will be on infrastructure development across the Maldives. The President said his top priority is to address the need of citizens. Outlining the initiatives planned for Hura, the President said a multipurpose hall will be developed at the island's school next year, as well as the introduction of scanning services at the local health center. He also committed to resuming the island's harbour project. According to the President, after housing, healthcare and education projects, the next priority will be on water and sewerage, road development as well as other social sector projects. President Dr. Mohammad Moise concludes the two-day tour of selected islands in Kaf and Alif atolls. During the visit, the President engaged with island residents, local councils and women's development committees with discussions centering on the development priorities of the island and the needs of their communities. He also toured island health centers and schools and made observations on their condition. Earlier this year, the President set a goal to meet with all island councils across the Maldives and has since undertaken a series of visits to various atolls. With the latest visits to Kaf and Alif atoll, the President has now held discussions with 185 councils. The President was accompanied by a high-level delegation during the trip. The Parliament passes amendments to the Penal Code classifying cyber crimes as criminal offences.
The Parliament has passed amendments classifying cybercrimes as criminal offences. The bill was unanimously approved by all 58 parliamentarians who participated in the vote. The bill was submitted to the Parliament by parliamentarian Hussein Riza Adam, with the first reading taking place on July 3rd. The amendment introduces 3 articles to the Penal Code, with Article 240 dedicated to computer-related crimes. Under the amendments, unauthorized access to computer systems, the interception of computer data, as well as interference and misuse of devices are classified as offences. Acts of cyber violence, computer-related forgery, fraud, and infringement of copyright and other related rights are also listed as crimes. However, unauthorized access to a computer system via a court order or any other permit issued by law is listed as an exemption and will not be criminally liable. In addition to the amendments to the Penal Code, 2 bills on amending the Criminal Procedure Law and another bill on amending the Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters Act were also approved. All 3 bills were passed with 58 votes in favour. The amendment will come into effect once they are ratified by President Dr. Mohammad Moise.
Minister Ali Ihsan says that the Ministry of Homeland Security and Technology is operating as a result-driven institution. His remarks came during the closing ceremony of the 37th Basic Training Course of the Maldives Police Service (MPS). The event was attended by Minister of Education Dr. Ismail Shafiu as the guest of honor.
Minister Ali Ihsan says the Ministry of Homeland Security and Technology is now operating as a research-driven institution dedicated to ensuring the safety and protection of citizens. During the event held at the National College of Policing and Law Enforcement in Addu City, Minister Ihsan underscored the significant responsibility they are about to undertake. He urged them to approach their duties with integrity and highlighted the achievements of MPS over the past year. Minister Ihsan also encouraged the police force to continue striving for further accomplishments. In his address, the minister highlighted the recent reforms within the Homeland Security Ministry aimed at enhancing its capability to deliver results and ensure public safety. He revealed that the Indian government has pledged $8.5 million for the renovation of the National College of Policing and Law Enforcement.
Minister of Education Dr. Ismail Shafiu urges all police officers of the Maldives Police Service to strive to earn the respect of trust of the citizens. His remarks were made during the closing ceremony of the 37th Police Initial Training Course of the MPS held at the National College of Policing and Law Enforcement in Addu City.
Minister of Education Dr. Ismail Shafiu called on all police officers of the Maldives Police Service to strive to earn the respect and trust of citizens. As the guest of honor at the ceremony, Minister Dr. Shafiu underscored the critical role of police officers stationed across more than 140 islands across the country, always prepared to assist the community in any situation. He commended the officers for their dedication and service, urging them to persist in their commendable efforts. In his address, Minister Shafiu underscored President Dr. Mohammad Muiz's vision of transforming the country into a modern, developed and secure nation where citizens lead harmonious lives. He noted that police officers play a vital role in realizing this vision by combating crime and providing assistance to citizens whenever required. He also stressed the importance of ensuring that the police service is not confined to a building or center. Instead, police officers must strive to earn the respect and trust of the citizens through their work both within the institution and in the community. Minister Shafiu further underscored the necessity of utmost justice and fairness in all matters concerning the public, cautioning that the actions of a single police officer can damage the reputation and trust of the entire police institution. He concluded by urging all graduates of the training program to adhere to the strictest codes of conduct to maintain the trust and respect of the public.
The State Trading Organization STO commences preparations months ahead of Ramadan. Every year, STO begins preparations months ahead of Ramadan by increasing stock levels of staple foods and controlling the prices of commodities that typically see price hikes in Ramadan. While preparations are already underway in anticipation of the upcoming Ramadan, which begins in March 2025, Minister of Economic Development and Trade Mohammad Said recently met with STO officials to review the plans. The Economic Ministry revealed that discussions centered on maintaining the prices of commodities and ensuring the uninterrupted supply of essential goods during Ramadan. The ministry assured that the arrangements would be made in alignment with President Dr. Mohammad Muiz's pledges. The President had previously announced that the administration would work to reduce the prices of consumables for Ramadan. Last year, the government distributed staple goods to households and provided discounts on utility bills. The President has confirmed that the utility discounts will be offered again this year, but instead of staple food distribution, a carton of canned tuna will be distributed to each household. The Waste Management Corporation of WEMCO officially launches services in Himmafushi, Kaf Atoll. The service was inaugurated by President Dr. Mohammad Muiz during his two-day tour to select islands of Kaf Atoll and Alif Atoll. WEMCO provides waste management services across various islands as part of the efforts to maintain Maldives as a clean and sustainable country. Himmafushi is the latest island where WEMCO's services have been introduced, with the corporation catering to households, construction sites, as well as businesses on the island. Initially limited to Male City, WEMCO's services have since expanded to Kurdufushi City, Tinadu Gafdal Atoll, and Mafushi Kaf Atoll. The government has also launched a national waste management plan to ensure environmentally friendly practices at every stage, from the source of waste production to the disposal of waste at regional waste management centers. The plan aims to find a permanent solution to the waste management challenges faced by the country. India's Adani Group announces plans to invest over USD 88.53 billion in various sectors in the northwestern Indian state of Rajasthan.
The managing director of Adani Ports, Karan Adani, stated that India's Adani Group is to invest over 7.5 trillion rupees, about $88.53 billion in various sectors in the northwestern Indian state of Rajasthan. He added that more than 50% of these investments will be made over the next 5 years.
With over 50% of this investment being made over the next 5 years. Let me elaborate. We plan to build the world's biggest integrated green energy ecosystem involving 100 gigawatts of renewable energy, 2 million tons of hydrogen, and 1.8 gigawatts of pump hydro storage. These investments will turn Rajasthan into an oasis of green jobs.
This is the first big-ticket announcement from the group after the US authorities last month accused group chairman Gautam Adani and some top executives in the Adani Group of being part of a scheme to pay bribes worth $265 million to secure Indian power supply contracts and of misleading US investors during fundraisers there. The group, meanwhile, has called the charges baseless.
The United Nations says that it wanted the best possible future for the Syrian people a day after rebels seized the Syrian capital of Damascus and Syrian President Bashar al-Assad fled to Russia.
The United Nations says that it wants the best possible future for the Syrian people, one that they choose themselves, a day after rebels seized the Syrian capital of Damascus and Syrian President Bashar al-Assad fled to Russia. Stefan Dujarric, spokesperson for the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, made the comments at a press briefing. Also earlier on Monday, UN refugee chief called for patience as millions of Syrian refugees displaced by the 13-year civil war weigh a possible return to the country after the toppling autocratic President Bashar al-Assad.
We want to see the best possible future for the Syrian people, one that they choose themselves, one that is inclusive, one is fully respective of the rights of minorities. So I think, I mean, as we know and as you know, the situation is moving very quickly. I think things will be hopefully clearer in the coming days.
European countries have been putting asylum applications from Syrians on hold until further notice. Ousted Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's Prime Minister said he had agreed on Monday to hand power to the rebel-led Salvation government. The imminent transfer of power follows 13 years of civil war and the end to more than 50 years of brutal rule by the Assad family, leaving Syrians at home and millions of refugees abroad hopeful yet deeply uncertain about the country's future.
Liverpool coach Arne Slot says he is impressed by Tuesday's Champions League opponents Girona, despite the Catalans' domestic struggles this season.
Liverpool coach Slot says he is impressed by Tuesday's Champions League's opponent Girona, despite the Catalans' domestic struggles this season. Currently sitting 9th in La Liga, the Champions League's debutants have failed to replicate their early successes from 2023 to 2024, which saw them lead the league for much of the campaign before ultimately finishing third in just their fourth season in the Spanish top flight. Liverpool's Slot described Girona's attempt to challenge the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona as something really special, especially given the disparity between Girona's transfer expenditure and player wages with those of Spain's traditional juggernauts.
I think it's really special what they've done here, particularly last season, but even this season still. I just made the comparison. They were coming close to becoming the Leicester City of England for a few years ago. They were competing for the league title. With this budget, probably means how good of a manager Michel is.
Premier League leaders Liverpool, however, will be hoping to capitalise on the rest their players were afforded this weekend after the Merseyside derby against Everton was postponed due to storms. A win for Slot's team will mean they are just 1 point away from qualifying for the last 16 of the competition, which is being played in a new format this season. Liverpool are the only team to boast a perfect record in the Champions League this season, winning all 5 games with victories. Girona, meanwhile, are 30th with 1 win and 4 losses, leaving them outside the knockout phase playoff spots by 3 points.
Google says it cracked a major challenge in quantum computing.
Google says it has cracked a key challenge in quantum computing with a new chip capable of almost unfathomable speeds. The tech giant says it can perform one standard test in under 5 minutes, one that would take one of today's fastest supercomputers 10 septillion years. That's vastly longer than the universe has existed. Google says the results that credence to theories that quantum computing taps into a multiverse of parallel universes. Dubbed Willow, the new chip has 105 so-called qubits, the building blocks of quantum machines. They are super fast but also very error-prone and can be upset by something as tiny as a passing subatomic particle. Now Google says it's found a way to make them more reliable and says it can also correct errors in real time. That's a big step towards building a practical quantum computer. Google hopes such devices could one day deliver huge advances in fields like AI and medicine. In a blog post Monday, it said that even under ideal conditions, it would take a regular computer a billion years to get the same results as Willow. The processors are being crafted at a new purpose-built facility in Santa Barbara, California. Rival firms have focused on building chips with more qubits, but Google says improving reliability is the key to delivering a workable system.
That's it for now. Thank you for watching PSM News. Have a good day.
ಬೇರು ಸಿಫೆ